Cousins Leonard Spike Johnson and Hoax Wilmot live with their mother. Spike is an active and confident teenager, passionate about motorcycles, spends a lot of time outside the home, communicates easily with his peers, and protects Hoax from various troubles. Hoax, on the other hand, is withdrawn, introverted, passionate about studies and technology, often stays home, avoids conflicts, and feels weak compared to his cousin. Their mother is a strict religious woman who maintains order in the house and controls her children's lives. Typical school and home days pass peacefully. Spike helps Hoax avoid teasing from his peers, accompanies him on trips, and supports him in minor problems related to school and household chores. Despite his cousin's care, Hoax feels resentful. He envies Spike's confidence and success and feels he can't achieve the same, especially in his relationships with others. One day, the teenagers learn about a new phone line, 976 Evil. At first glance, the line seems like a simple novelty. For a small fee, you can get strange information or recommendations about yourself, like a funny psychological game. Spike tests the line a few times and quickly loses interest, considering it a pointless game. Hoax, on the other hand, shows keen interest and begins calling more often, trying to understand how the system works. The first calls have no noticeable effect. The line offers minor predictions and advice. However, Hoax notices that events around him are beginning to change. Those small coincidences, which at first seem random, gradually take on a pattern. He realizes that the line allows him to influence events and people around him. Hoax begins to use the line to solve everyday problems. He prevents minor troubles at school, achieves success in tasks he previously couldn't, and carefully modifies the behavior of other teenagers to avoid conflicts. Each time he uses the line, his abilities are strengthened, and Hoax comes to rely on it more and more. Spike notices changes in his cousin. Hoax becomes more decisive and self-assured, and his actions begin to have a noticeable impact on others. Strange events occur in and around the house, indicating the presence of an outside force. Spike tries to understand what's happening and warns Hoax that the line could be dangerous. Meanwhile, Hoax becomes increasingly involved in using the line. He no longer limits himself to small matters and begins to test the line's capabilities on more serious examples, correcting mistakes, preventing conflicts, and managing situations that previously seemed unattainable. Each use of the line strengthens its influence and changes Hoax's character. Gradually, the line's influence begins to manifest on a larger scale. Events that seemed coincidental become systematic. People behave as Hoax foresees, and his decisions begin to create a domino effect, influencing the world around him. Hoax loses his sense of control. The line gradually confuses his own perceptions with its capabilities. Spike observes this process and sees that his cousin is almost completely absorbed by the line. He tries to intervene, explaining to Hoax that he can't rely on external forces and reminding him of real life. Hoax reacts differently. Sometimes he shows doubt, sometimes he completely trusts the line. Gradually, it becomes clear that the line gives him unusual abilities that Hoax is unable to use safely. Soon the line creates a concentrated manifestation of energy near the house. At first, these are minor anomalies. Objects appear in unexpected places, doors close or open on their own, calls to regular phones are answered late or with unusual effects. Hoax no longer simply observes. He actively uses these events to control what is happening. Spike tries to stop his cousin directly. He reaches out to Hoax and reminds him of the past, of their shared plans, of their vacations, of how they were family and friends. For a brief moment, Hoax's old personality emerges, realizing he's made mistakes and that the lineage is using his abilities for destructive purposes. Hoax embraces Spike as if asking for help, but the lineage's influence is too strong, and it's impossible to fully restore his old personality. Spike makes a difficult decision. He abandons Hoax to stop the demonic presence, betraying his cousin and throwing him into the pit.